Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in again to another episode of CivilianTacticalWeapons.com. Today's episode is actually going to be on the Thurian 9mm carbine. This carbine is actually made by Thurian Defense. It's if you look at the way the rifle is designed, it looks very similar to an AR. It uses these, I think they're slightly modified Colt 9mm mags, they're 32 round mags. It has all the requirements as far as federal requirements on barrel lengths, overall lengths. However, keep in mind in your own personal locality, county, state, this may or may not be legal. The gun has built-in flip-up sights. So as you can see here, it's got built-in sights. The sights are adjustable for both windage and elevation. This is also standard Picatinny rail system on top, so you can go ahead and put whatever other optic you want to put on here, red dot scopes, things like that. And really the kind of the claim to fame for this particular gun, and I want to show you because you may not see this at your local gun store, is the fact that this gun is at a very particular price niche. This is around $700. So it's a $700 rifle that's actually firing 9mm. It's in the same category for those of you viewers who are looking for an inexpensive gun to shoot. I actually shot this entire video because of the request of some of my viewers who are complaining that all of my videos are geared towards, larger purchases. So what I wanted to, first of all, to make sure that you understand the nature of this particular video. This is a very inexpensive, fun little gun to shoot at the range. Maybe if you live out in the county, this may be something you shoot in your backyard if it's okay with your with the laws in your area. But it's not designed for, this is not something that you're going to see law enforcement use, for example. This is, for the price niche that's at, it is a very good gun for the casual shooter. And if you're going to look at people who are asking me some things, trying to compare things to like some of the Ruger rifles that accept the 9mm mags, Beretta Storms, these are the types of guns that you would compare this to. You're not going to compare this to some, $3,000 rifle or something like that. So that being said, it does have some very good benefits. The gun is very reliable. We shot Monarch ammo through it, which is kind of my initial base of if a gun's reliable or not. We shot some Remington. We shot some of the Winchester Ranger ammo through it. It actually proved to be very flawless. We had no malfunctions, no failure to feeds, nothing. I mean, ejection was clean, no problems. We did rapid fire tests. In fact, in this video, which will be a little different than most of my videos, I'm not breaking apart the studio and range videos. They'll actually all be shown back to back. So watch through the entire video and you'll actually get to the range video portion of this too. The gun, all being said, is actually a fairly nice gun for what you're getting. Please don't confuse this again with something that, try to compare it unfairly to something that costs significantly more. So normally the way I hold this, I actually hold this gun with pretty much like an MP5 hold. So keep it tucked pretty tight. I'll actually maybe even collapse the stock down a little bit to get in right behind it when I shoot it. A couple things to note about this. These optics on the gun, I do not like at all. This is probably my biggest pet peeve with this gun. When you're at 7 yards, 15 yards, this thing will, cut out the center of the target, no problem, no issues. Once you get beyond that, it was actually significantly harder to get on target and be able to put really, really tight groups. I mean, I could shoot bullets after bullets in the 7 to 15 yard range, right around there, pretty easily. Once I got 15 and beyond though, my big problem became the sights itself. So I really felt if I had, if I threw an EOTech on here or whatever, this would be a completely different story as far as the distance shooting. And the reason why is there's a very, very small hole in the rear sight, and the front sight peg, which is actually a sight adjustment, you rotate this to actually raise and lower it, and then there's adjustment to push this left and right for your windage, and that's for your elevation. This front peg pretty much completely covers up the back, and when you're looking through it to get front sight picture, it's very difficult at farther ranges. Closer ranges is not really a problem, but I couldn't even see my target anymore. This thing completely covered it up. So we did have pretty decent shot groups. At 25 yards, we're hitting about 2.5 inches, but I honestly believe that with the proper sights, just shooting this gun a few times, that you could probably bring this down at 25 yards down to inch groups without that much of an issue. The issue being is these sights. These sights are a bit of a problem. So this is a standard Picatinny rail system. I did initially play around with throwing a 516, EOTech 516 on top of it. Fit perfectly. There's no problem with putting whatever optics you want on it. Couple things to note: this does not have a last shot bolt open. I mean, it will actually stay when this gun has been fired. When this gun's been fired, after the last round's been fired, you'll see that it'll actually come completely closed. So some of you may be used to a gun that has an open bolt. Definitely this is not one of them. The other thing too is when you load this gun, I did notice this. When you load this gun, you load the ammunition up. You want to go ahead and cycle the chamber to chamber it in. It has a little catch here, and let me rotate the gun this way. It has a little catch here that when you pull and you push it in, it'll actually stay open. This is good for all the ranges. Will have you say, open the chamber, lay it out so everyone, Grange Master can come by and make sure all the guns are empty. It's good for that. It is not good to then go like this and then pull it out a little bit, letting it cycle forward and thinking that's going to cycle the gun properly. If you do that, I've actually been able to do failure to feed that way. If you, however, just load it where you take the magazine, stick it in, and then cycle it, it works solid every single time. So for those of you who may be looking into that, make sure you do add that into your particular tactics with this particular gun as far as handling of the firearm. Because as long as you do it the way I showed you, there's really no issues with it. You have your standard safe fire positions, same like you would have in any AR, so that's not really an issue, not really any training here. In fact, pretty much the entire lower will accept, you can drop different trigger groups. We had they offer this gun with the Timney trigger system. I strongly recommend you don't use the Timney trigger. The Timney trigger has a problem of going burst fire. In fact, they even acknowledge it in their manual. It's not a good idea to have a trigger that's so sensitive and has so many problems that you can have that type of an issue. So this is just the factory trigger of what we shot it with. So you'll see the video up front, up here, which will actually have the following here, which actually show you the range shoot, and you actually see how this gun performs.
No, not so. As you can see, shot groups within 7. We're talking about 5-shot group, about a little less than an inch. What we're going to do is go ahead and shoot it down to about 25 yards. My only complaint about this gun has actually been the magazines. A lot of times the lip catches on the magazines. It's not really, but if you push down the back, you can get it stuck. You get it jammed like that pretty easily. Of course, it's something you can have done with every magazine, but for some reason, I have MP5 mags and I don't have this problem with it. In fact, I just jammed it up there pretty good, so I gotta pop it back out. You want to make sure you get it straight. Zeroes down at 25 yards. See, it keeps it at 2.5 inches. Not too bad. What I want to do is show you a quick shoot. I'll look at that. I mean, it's no problem with the rapid fire. Anyway, if you have any questions, please email me at info@civiliantacticweapons.com, and I hope to see you next week.